He never expected a knock at midnight. And definitely not from her, the icy, untouchable CEO who ruled their company like royalty. Now standing on his doorstep soaked, shaking, and completely broken after discovering her fiancé cheating at their engagement party. By Monday, the truth hits. The board uses her heartbreak as ammunition, trying to kick her out of her own company. And their secret midnight moment? It becomes the weapon they use against him too. The last thing I expected on a stormy Thursday night was a knock at my door, much less from my boss. But there she was, drenched to the bone, mascara smeared like bruises beneath her eyes, looking nothing like the woman who commanded entire boardrooms with a single raised brow. "Elias," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I'm sorry to come like this." Andrea Maddox, CEO of Maddox Innovations, one of the most respected tech firms in the region, stood on my doorstep as though the world had collapsed beneath her feet. Before I could even respond, a tiny voice sounded behind me. "Daddy, who's that?" But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop your country in the comment below and please like the video. Thank you. Now let's continue. My 7-year-old son, Noah, peeked from the hallway, holding his blanket, cheeks flushed from sleep. Andrea's expression faltered. She had never seen my home life, only the tidy spreadsheets and spotless reports I delivered at work. Suddenly, I felt the weight of two worlds pressing against my chest, the one I worked in and the one I lived for. "It's okay, buddy," I said gently. "Go wait in your room. I'll tuck you in again." Noah hesitated, eyeing Andrea with that blunt, innocent curiosity only children have, then padded back down the hall. I stepped aside. "Come in before you freeze." She moved past me slowly, as though afraid she might break if she walked too quickly. Even soaked, she carried an elegance that couldn't be washed away. I didn't know where else to go," she murmured. I grabbed a towel from the closet and handed it to her. My living room was cluttered, Legos everywhere, a stack of laundry I hadn't folded, and a superhero puzzle half-finished on the coffee table. "Sorry for the mess," I said. "Single dad life isn't exactly glamorous." Andrea let out a hollow laugh. "Trust me, my glamorous life isn't real either." She lowered herself onto my old couch, clutching the towel as if it were a lifeline. "I found my fiancé, my former fiancé, with my closest friend tonight. At our engagement party." The words hung heavy between us. "I'm sorry," I said softly. "That's brutal." "6 years of my life," she whispered. "And apparently the last year and a half he's been seeing her behind my back. Everyone knew except me. If anyone asked me before tonight, I would have sworn Andrea Maddox was made of steel, too sharp, too polished to ever break. But the woman sitting on my couch looked like she'd been cracked open by the very people she trusted most. "I don't even know why I came here," she said, rubbing her temples. "I just got in my car, drove, and suddenly I was outside your building." "Sometimes you go where your heart feels safe," I said without thinking. Her eyes lifted to mine. Soft. Searching. "At work today, you were the only one who called me out," she murmured. "The only person who told me I was being unreasonable, that fear was making decisions for me." I winced. "I shouldn't have snapped at you like that." "No," she said quietly. "You were right. And you were brave enough to say it." She took a shaky breath. "Could you say it again?" I swallowed, turning to face her directly. "You're better than the fear that's pushing you around, Andrea. You're stronger than what happened tonight." For a moment, the air between us felt charged, too warm, too close. I thought she might reach for me. Instead, she stood up abruptly. "I should go. This was inappropriate. I'm your boss. You have your son. I shouldn't have crossed this line." "Andrea." "Thank you for the towel," she said quickly, heading toward the door. "I'll see you Monday. We can forget this happened." But before she could leave, Noah shuffled back into the hallway. "Are you Dad's girlfriend?" Andrea froze. I nearly choked. "No, buddy," I said gently. "This is Ms. Maddox. She works with Daddy. You look sad, Noah said simply. When Daddy is sad, I give him hot chocolate. It makes him feel better. Andrea's shoulders loosened. Something in her expression softened, like a crack in armor. That sounds wonderful, she said softly. I can show you, Noah offered, extending his tiny hand. And just like that, at 12:30 in the morning, my CEO, my son, and I stood in my small kitchen making hot chocolate with too many marshmallows, as though the world hadn't turned upside down outside my windows. I didn't know then that this night would change everything. Monday arrived like a slap. I dropped Noah at school with a forced smile and headed to the office, bracing for awkwardness. Instead, the building buzzed with chaos. Eli, my assistant, Morgan, rushed toward me. Where have you been? The whole company's on edge. What's going on? Andrea's ex-fiancé caused a scene in the lobby. The board called an emergency meeting. Rumor is they finally found a reason to push her out. My stomach dropped. She'd mentioned political enemies on the board before, but I didn't think they'd use her personal heartbreak as ammunition. Without thinking, I headed straight to the executive floor. Morgan called after me, but I didn't stop. I pushed into the boardroom without knocking. 12 startled faces turned toward me, including Andrea's, composed, polished, but her eyes told another story. Mr. Clark, the chairman said coldly. This is a private session. I need to speak with Ms. Maddox, I said, voice steady. Urgently. Andrea stood immediately. Excuse me, gentlemen. In the hallway, she spun on me. Eli, what are you doing? They're already questioning my judgment. I heard they're trying to force you out. It doesn't matter. My personal life blew up publicly. The board is using it as leverage. This is insane, I hissed. You built this company. She gave a small, tired smile. In corporate America, a woman can be brilliant until she becomes human. And Friday night. Please, she whispered sharply. Not here. She took a breath, adjusted her suit jacket, and put her mask back on. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Clark, she said formally. But I'll handle this. The shift to Mr. Clark stung more than I expected. Minutes later, she returned to the boardroom without looking back. By noon, the announcement went company-wide. Andrea Maddox was placed on administrative leave. The chairman would serve as acting CEO. And I, apparently, was being promoted to interim CFO. A promotion in exchange for silence. That night, I received a text from an unknown number. Congratulations. You'll do well in the role. I stared at it, heart tightening. Did she think I took the promotion because she confided in me? This isn't what I wanted, I typed back. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Reappeared. We don't always get what we want. Take care of yourself and Noah. Then another message. For what it's worth, that night was the first time I felt human in a very long time. 2 weeks bled into each other. Andrea stayed on leave. Morale collapsed. The acting CEO reversed half her initiatives, and every objection I raised was met with thinly veiled warnings. Then, on a late Friday afternoon, he summoned me. Elias, my boy, he said, pouring himself a drink. Your work has been impressive. We'd like to make your position permanent. He slid a document toward me. One glance, and my blood ran cold. A statement, claiming I witnessed Andrea misuse company resources to spy on her fiancé. The lie they needed to destroy her career forever. I can't sign this, I said immediately. Think of your son, he replied softly, voice dripping with threat. Think of your mother's medical bills. You need this job. He gave me until Monday to decide. After putting Noah to bed, I drove to Andrea's penthouse, a place I never imagined visiting. She answered the door herself, wearing jeans and a sweater, hair in a loose knot. The version of her the world never got to see. Elias, she said quietly. What are you doing here? They want me to help them destroy you. She didn't flinch. I suspected as much. You knew. They've wanted me gone for almost a year, she said with a weary smile. I refused to compromise my principles. So you're just letting them win? She looked out at the city lights. Sometimes stepping away is the only way to stay whole. And Friday night? I blurted. Do you regret coming to me? Her eyes softened. No, she said. That night reminded me I still had a heart. I stepped closer. I can't sign their statement. Even if it costs everything. She reached for my hand, slowly, cautiously. You're a good man, Eli Clark. And good men are rare. I just know what's right. What will you do? I don't know yet. But lying about you isn't an option. Her fingers threaded through mine. That night, it meant something to me. It meant something to me too, I said. Say it again, she whispered. I lifted my gaze to hers. It meant something to me, Andrea. You mean something to me. This time, she didn't hesitate. She kissed me, softly, desperately, like a woman who'd been holding her breath for years. By Monday, I had a plan. I walked straight into the chairman's office. Have you decided, Elias? He asked smugly. Yes. I placed a folder on his desk. My resignation. He slammed his glass down. You're throwing away your career. No, I said calmly. I'm taking it back. Inside the folder was another document, the recording of him admitting the board had planned Andrea's removal long before her personal life unraveled. You recorded me? Your office policy permits it. Security reasons, remember. His face drained of color. I'm not here for war, I said. Just let me leave cleanly. Get out, he spat. And just like that, I walked away. The months that followed tested every ounce of strength I had. Starting a financial consulting firm while raising Noah alone was exhausting. But Andrea, now launching her own company helping women entrepreneurs, became my anchor more than once. She invested in my business. I helped structure hers. We grew together in ways neither of us expected. On weekends, she'd come by for movie nights. Noah adored her. She'd sit on the floor building forts with him, wearing designer clothes covered in popcorn and cookie crumbs, never complaining. You're different with him, I told her once. He doesn't care who I am, she said. He just thinks unicorns can breathe underwater if they hold their breath. Can they? I teased. Obviously not, she said. They hate getting their manis wet. 1 year after that stormy night, I asked her to move in. My life is complicated, she whispered. So is mine, I replied. But it's better with you in it. Her eyes glistened. I love you, Elias. You and Noah both. Say it again, I whispered. She smiled. I love you. All of you. 2 years later, we stood at our wedding, Noah, now 9, acting as ring bearer and unofficial event manager. Andrea glowed in her simple gown, her hand resting gently on her growing belly. During our first dance, she whispered, you helped me rebuild. No, I murmured. We rebuilt together. Sometimes the most beautiful chapters begin with a single knock on the door. One you never saw coming. On the night you felt most alone. From the person who would change your life forever. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button. It takes a second, but it means the world to me. Don't scroll yet, your support keeps these stories coming.